Hey vinyl community, this is Tim with the University of Vinyl, back today to do Vinyl Tag 2022. You know, this is one of the first videos that I did last year when I joined the VC and started doing videos. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary. It's been a fantastic year. This is a great way to kind of dig through your collection and kind of show what you have. So I appreciate Rob Walker. I'm going to be doing Rob's questions today. Also Stunty from Stunt Rock Confusion. There's 2 different vinyl tags out there. A lot of them share similar questions, but I did see Rob's list of questions first, and I'm finally getting around to doing this. So thank you again, Rob, for throwing it out there this year. We've got 22 questions. I do have a combo. I've combined, I think, 4 questions to show the same album. We'll cover that when I get there. But let's get started. Number 1, favorite album purchased in 2021. I'm going to have to show 2 because it's really a tie. One of the albums I've talked about extensively on my channel over the last 11 months. For good reason, because it is a rare Robert Ludwig hot mix, hot cut of Led Zeppelin 2. This is the, it's got RL in the dead wax on side 1 and 2, along with SS for sterling sound. This is an incredible specimen. If you ever find one of these in the wild, snap it up. You might get lucky and there might be a record shop that has it in the used bins and they don't know what it is. That happened to me. I purchased this for $30. It's in near mint condition. Of course, it's on that iconic green and orange Atlantic label. This is never leaving my collection. Ironically, I found another RL in the wild 3 months later that was actually in pretty rough shape, but again, I picked it up for 20 bucks and flipped it on eBay. But that was an incredible thrill to find an RL in the wild. The second album that I'm going to say is tied is going to have to be Siamese Dream, Smashing Pumpkins. This is an original press on the black vinyl. This is an incredible sounding album. It's spread across 2 33 1/3 albums, records. There is the gatefold. I was shocked to find this in one of my favorite record shops in the bins, and this happened not too long ago, early December. Siamese Dream, an incredible new addition to the collection in 2021. Question number 2 is album by first person I saw live in concert. That is going to be In Excess. I saw In Excess open for Men at Work, kind of a down under tour. In 1983, In Excess were supporting the Shabu Shaba album, which is a fantastic album. But this is Listen Like Thieves from In Excess, of course. First band that I saw live, my parents let me take my younger brother, and it was in an outdoor shed in northern Michigan called Castle Farms near Charlevoix, Michigan. If you know it, you know it. Unfortunately, it's no longer operating as a concert venue. It's now a wedding venue. Question 3 is album by a duo, and question 15 is a best of album. So guess what? I'm going to have to combine these 2. I have the Carpenters album. This was the singles. This, was a fantastic comp. It basically comprised of all of the Carpenters singles from 1969 to 1973. Came with a cool booklet. There is Karen Carpenter and Richard Carpenter. Richard was in the shadows. So, fantastic, historic rock duo, and that is a best of as well. So 2 for the price of 1. Question number 4, show an album in the shrink. And then question number 10, an album with the price sticker still on the jacket. So I'm going to combine those two and show you Bob Seger's Smokin' OPs. This is a when was this? 1972? I think it's a 72 album. It's actually very, very good. And what this is about is actually a little bit of a concept album. Smoking OPs is smoking other people's cigarettes or tobacco is what it's supposed to mean. But in this case, Seger is doing a ton of covers. And it's a fantastic album. Picked this up earlier last year, and I love, I'm from the Midwest. It's got that Meyer, Thrifty Acres is what that superstore used to be known as, now just Meyer. But there's that original price tag, and of course it is in the shrink. Question number 5, show a concept album, and then I'm going to couple that up with another question, which is question number 21, show a colored vinyl album. So I'm going to show 12 Golden Country Greats by Ween. And the concept behind this is, if you don't know Ween, they were a crazy new wave. How do you describe Ween in 5 sentences or less? That's tough to do. If you know Ween, you know Ween, but this was something out of left field, and Ween were known to be doing things out of left field, but basically what they did, they came up with an imaginary country greatest hits album, and they went down to Nashville. They recorded in 2 or 3 of the most historic studios in Nashville. They used all of the players, including the Jordanaires, on backup vocals, and this is just an incredible album, well worth seeking out. And the vinyl on this edition, which is a recent repress, is a decidedly interesting color of brown. So there it is, 12 Golden Country Greats by Ween. One hell of a concept album. Question number 6 is to show an album that you haven't even played yet. And I'm going to show, this is Donna Summer's Bad Girls. This was the reissue on Record Store Day, one of the 3 Record Store Days last year. I think it was the first drop last spring. I think so. Anyway, Bad Girls, fantastic repressing from what I understand. Haven't had time to open it up and listen to it yet, but I will get there eventually. Question number 7 is an artist that you discovered in 2021. I took this to be, it didn't have to be a brand new artist. It could have been someone that I had just not dipped my toes into before. And what I came up with is the country bluegrass artist Gary Stewart. This guy was basically an incredible bluegrass player, fantastic songwriter. Bob Dylan was a fan, and I've actually got 3 different albums I'm going to show from him. I fell in love with this guy, and I'm trying to find everything I can. But that is Gary Stewart. This guy has definitely got an outlaw country streak to him. Women left him. He's got a tragic story, actually. He committed suicide after his wife died. But that's Gary Stewart, a new artist that I discovered in 2021. And if you like country, if you like outlaw country with a heavy bluegrass tint, I recommend Gary Stewart. Question 8, show a live album. I'm going to show a double album. The name of this band is Talking Heads, one of the best live albums I think ever put out. And this is a double LP, and it actually captures the Talking Heads in their very, very early days as a quartet. And then the second LP is focused when they expanded the band out to include Adrian Belew, etc. And that is the backside of that album. So the name of this band is Talking Heads. Fantastic, highly recommended live album. Question number 9, show an album from a different continent. So I'm going to go with Europe, Northern Europe to be exact, and maybe kind of predictable, ABBA, The Visitors. This is a fantastic, would have been their final album if they didn't come back in 21 with that incredible comeback album. But this is The Visitors, recorded and mixed in Polar Studios, their famous studio in Sweden. Question number 11, show a punk or new wave album. And I decided to go with the B-52s, Whammy. This is a fantastic kind of sleeper B-52s album. It is the last album with Ricky Wilson before he passed away, Cindy Wilson's brother, who was a founding member of the B-52s. That's Whammy. Question number 12, show a box set. And what I decided to show you was another Record Store Day release. This is John Prine, The Asylum Years. This was put out by Rhino for, I think, the second drop, or maybe the first drop last year. This is a compilation box set, and it includes the original albums Bruised Orange, Pink Cadillac, and Storm Windows. Fantastic albums all around. They were out of print for years and hard to find. And we've had this reissues. Unfortunately, we lost John Prine last year. R.I.P. Question 13. Show an album with a sporting theme. So I thought I was going to have trouble with this, and I was kind of scratching my head. But then I remembered that I did pick up this album in 2021, and that is, of course, a classic Blue Note series, Herbie Hancock, Maiden Voyage, with the sailboat on the cover. Definitely a sporting theme, and an incredible album as well. Maiden Voyage, Herbie Hancock. That's the Blue Note Classic Series album that was released last year. Question number 14, show a jazz album. And what I have here is Eastern Sounds by Yusef Lateef. This is an OJC pressing. It sounds amazing. It could be found for about $20, either in record stores or on Discogs. And it was put on that Prestige label. You know, the Craft Recordings came out with their one-step iteration of this album, and I didn't have any luck in finding it, but here it is. The OJC is nothing to sneeze at. Sounds great, dead silent, and an incredible dynamic jazz recording. Question number 16, show an album that has at least 8 people on the cover. I thought I was going to struggle with this one too. I've seen a few people show the Sgt. Pepper's album, which is an easy one. I didn't want to do that. So I had to look around, and lo and behold, this is 10,000 Maniacs' 1989 album, Blind Man's Zoo. And if you do a careful count on that album, there's more than 8 people on the album, and this is, by the way, an incredible sonic masterpiece. Love Natalie Merchant. 2 standouts on this album, Trouble Me and Eat for Two. But that is Blind Man's Zoo. We're coming down to the home stretch. Question number 17, show a soundtrack album. I decided to do The King of Comedy. You know, this is a fantastic film. starring De Niro and Jerry Lewis famously. And the person charged with all of Martin Scorsese's soundtracks for the most part is Robbie Robertson from the band. So you can basically bet on there being some interesting music on those soundtracks, and this is no exception. We have everybody from Talking Heads, Pretenders. There is a very interesting, nearly instrumental track from Donald Fagen, and many others. That is King of Comedy. That's the soundtrack album I'm showing today. Question 18. Show some VCLT. VCLT, if you're not aware, it stands for Vinyl Community Love Train. It's basically if someone gifts you a record album or in some cases other items that you might receive. So I have a subscriber, friend of mine. His name is Brian. He's from Massachusetts, and he was kind enough to send me a couple t-shirts, a couple albums, and this, a framed piece of art. This is actually a cool kind of, I don't know if this was an advertisement or what, but it's a framed print showing the Alan Zentz recording mastering studio back from the 1970s. If you don't know, I've done a ton of videos featuring different mastering engineers and different pressings, and one of the videos that I did was on the Alan Zentz mastering house. So Brian, thank you very much. That is an incredible piece of VCLT that I received this past year. Question number 19. Show an album with no writing at all on the jacket. And I'm going to go with Pink Floyd's incredible Metal album. There it is with that kind of distorted photograph of, I think, is either a pig or a cow ear. Can't remember right now. But that is Metal. Question 20. Show a 7-inch single. And one of my favorite Lindsey Buckingham tracks is Trouble. This is a great sounding single. It did fantastically well when it was released in, I think, 1982. It's got Mary Lee Jones on the flip side. There's my 7-inch to show Lindsey Buckingham Trouble. Question 22, the last question of the day. Show an album from 1982. So many to choose from because that's right in my wheelhouse. But I thought I would focus in on an album that I picked up 2 days ago. Another great dig session I'm probably going to talk about on a future video. That is this incredible album, Lou Reed, The Blue Mask. This has got the great Fernando Saunders on bass and the equally fantastic Robert Quine on guitar. Lou, of course, is on guitar as well. This album, Lou had been recently married, and a lot of this is about being married and being in a relationship and love. And when this was released in 1982, there had been some fallow years and some very inconsistent albums from Lou Reed, and the critics were absolutely bowled over. This thing got 5-star ratings across the board from everybody from Robert Christgau of The Village Voice to Rolling Stone magazine. And it is a deep, intense listen, highly recommended. 1982, The Blue Mask, Lou Reed. There it is, Vinyl Tag 2022. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate it. If you took a chance to just kind of stumble across this video and you've never seen any other videos that I've done, please take a look at my playlist and some of my back catalog. You may enjoy things. Please like and subscribe. If you do feel like doing that today, always appreciated. Thanks again, Rob Walker, for putting out the list of questions, and I look forward to checking some more of these out. Hope everybody has a great week. Take care.